Feeling lost at 50, you're not alone. Many people reach their 50s and start feeling invisible, ignored, and unsure of what's next. The body aches more, the energy fades. Friends drift away. Worse yet, it feels like time is slipping through your fingers faster than ever. If you're not careful, these years can turn into a slow, painful decline, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's terrifying and it's real. I know because I'm 80 and I've felt it too. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way. There's still time to fight for your health, rebuild your relationships, and claim the happiness you deserve. In this video, I'll show you how to stop the downward spiral and start living with strength and peace again. Simple, clear step, no confusion, no stress. Stay with me. Your best years can still be ahead. 1. Health is your greatest wealth. I always took my health for granted until I started to feel the effects of aging. In my younger years, I didn't really think about it much. I'd stay up late, grab fast food when I was busy, and put off exercise because there were always other things to do. But as the years went by, I began to realize that health isn't something you can just expect to last forever without putting in some effort. It's something you have to actively care for. As we get older, we start to notice changes in our bodies. Maybe it's a little extra weight around the waist, joint pain that wasn't there before, or just feeling more tired than we used to. It's easy to think that's just a part of getting older. But the truth is, we have a lot of control over how we age. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle is one of the best ways to prevent the common issues that come with aging, and it's never too late to start making better choices for your health. Even in your 50s, staying active is crucial. Simple things like walking, doing yoga, or strength training can make a huge difference. Exercise doesn't have to be intense, but moving regularly can help keep your body strong, your joints flexible, and your mind sharp. Research shows that staying active as you age can reduce the risk of chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. It can also help you live longer and with a higher quality of life. Along with exercise, what we put in our bodies matters just as much. Eating a balanced diet full of fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats helps to fuel our bodies the right way. Foods like leafy greens, berries, nuts, and fish rich in omega-3s can support brain function, keep your heart healthy, and help maintain your weight. It's not about dieting, it's about nourishing your body with what it needs to feel its best. Don't forget the importance of regular checkups with your doctor. Preventative care is key to catching any health issues early before they become bigger problems. Getting routine screenings like for blood pressure, cholesterol, and even bone density can make all the difference. Catching things early gives you the chance to make changes before they impact your life too much. Let me give you a real-life example. Take two people in their 50s. One has made exercise a part of her daily routine. She walks every day, does yoga, and eats a healthy diet. She feels energized, her checkups are all clear, and she's living life to the fullest. On the other hand, the second person doesn't prioritize their health. They've ignored the signs of aging, skipped exercise, and eat whatever is convenient. Now they're dealing with health issues like high blood pressure, weight gain, and fatigue, which are making everyday activities harder. The difference in their lives isn't about age, it's about the choices they've made to take care of themselves. How are you taking care of your health? Drop a comment below to share your favorite healthy habit. 2. It's never too late to learn. It's easy to think that after a certain age, learning something new is for the younger crowd. But the truth is your mind deserves just as much care and attention as your body. Keeping your brain active and engaged is not only rewarding, but it also helps keep it sharp and strong. When you pick up something new, whether it's a hobby or a skill, you're giving your brain a workout. This could be learning to play a musical instrument, picking up a new language, or diving into something creative like painting or writing. These activities don't just pass the time, they stimulate different areas of your brain, helping to improve memory, problem-solving skills, and focus. There's even scientific research backing this up. Studies show that lifelong learning can help prevent cognitive decline and reduce the risk of conditions like dementia. Engaging in activities that challenge your mind, especially those that require you to think in new ways, can slow down the natural aging process of your brain. It's like giving your brain a gym session where you're working on strengthening your cognitive muscles. Take, for example, the story of John, a man in his 50s. A few years ago, John decided to pick up photography as a hobby. What started as a way to pass the time soon turned into a passion. Not only did he learn how to use the camera, but he also started experimenting with different photography techniques and editing software. He began taking classes, meeting other photographers, and even started his own small photography business. The best part, he felt more energized and motivated than ever. Learning something new gave him a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. On the other hand, there's Mark, another man in his 50s who, after a busy career, decided he was too old to learn anything new. He stopped trying to pick up new skills, believing it was a waste of time. Over time, he became less engaged with the world around him and started feeling disconnected. Without the challenge and excitement of learning, he found his motivation waning. The difference between these two men highlights just how powerful learning can be. It doesn't matter how old you are, your brain is capable of adapting and growing. The key is to keep pushing yourself, to step out of your comfort zone and try something fresh. Whether it's a new hobby, a skill you've always wanted to master, or simply diving into something creative, every new thing you learn contributes to keeping your brain sharp. So what's one thing you have always wanted to learn? Whether it's painting, cooking a new recipe, or picking up a new instrument, share it in the comments and let's inspire each other to keep learning. 3. The importance of relationships. As we get older, relationships become more important than ever. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of life, but making time for the people who matter most, family, friends, and your community, can really change the way we experience life. Meaningful connections can bring so much joy and fulfillment. They help you navigate life's ups and downs and remind you that you're not alone. As you age, these relationships are not just comforting, they're essential. The emotional and psychological benefits of having strong social support are huge. When you surround yourself with people who care about you, it gives you a sense of purpose and belonging. Whether it's sharing a laugh, having a heart-to-heart conversation, or simply being there for each other, these moments are a big part of what makes life worth living. Studies have shown that people with strong social connections tend to live longer, healthier lives. In fact, social support is linked to a lower risk of depression, reduced stress levels, and even better immune function. And it's not just about the quantity of relationships, it's about the quality. Having a few close, trustworthy people around you can be more beneficial than having a large social circle with weak connections. Think about two people in their 50s. One has spent years prioritizing time with family and friends. They make it a point to stay in touch, whether it's for a weekly dinner or a regular phone call. As a result, they feel supported. They share their joys and struggles, and they always know they have people who've got their back. They're happier, more emotionally balanced, and can handle stress better because they're surrounded by love. On the other hand, consider someone who isolates themselves. Maybe they've let their relationships slip over the years. They don't have a regular support system and tend to keep to themselves. Over time, loneliness can creep in, affecting their mental and physical health. They might feel disconnected or overwhelmed by stress, without someone to lean on. The difference in how they handle life's challenges is noticeable. The takeaway here is that no matter where you are in life, it's never too late to invest in those meaningful relationships. Whether it's reaching out to a family member, rekindling an old friendship, or joining a local community group, there are countless ways to build and nurture your social connections. Don't wait for life to pass you by. Start making those connections now, and you'll notice how much richer life becomes. So think about it. Who in your life has had the greatest impact? Maybe it's a friend who's always been there for you, or a family member who taught you something important. Tag them in the comments and let them know how much they mean to you. It's a small gesture that can mean the world. 4. Don't sweat the small stuff. You know, when I look back at my 50s, I realized just how much I used to stress over things that, in hindsight, really weren't all that important. It's funny how the little worries that seemed huge at the time now feel so small. Like worrying about a work deadline or the latest family drama, things that seemed so overwhelming. But as I've gotten older, I've learned to take a step back and really look at what truly matters. The more I let go of the small stuff, the lighter I feel, and the more I can focus on the things that actually bring me joy. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. So many of us get caught up in this cycle of worry, especially as we get older. But there's good news. There are ways to let go of that stress and take back control. Mindfulness techniques can be a game changer. Simple practices like meditation, breathing exercises, or even journaling can really help to reduce stress and bring a sense of calm. Let me share a quick story. There's someone I know in their 50s who used to be constantly anxious about work and personal matters. They would stay up late worrying about emails, projects, and whether they were making the right decisions. The stress was affecting not just their work, but their relationships and even their health. After a while, they decided to try something different, taking 10 minutes each morning to meditate, focusing on their breath, and letting their minds settle before starting the day. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but slowly that daily practice helped them reframe their thoughts. They started to let go of things that didn't matter as much and prioritize what truly brought them peace. Over time, they noticed they were not only more present with their family and friends, but also much happier in their career. Their health improved too, less tension in their shoulders, fewer sleepless nights. There's science behind this too. Chronic stress has been shown to negatively impact our health, especially as we age. It can increase the risk of heart disease, weaken the immune system, and even affect our mental health. On the flip side, managing stress through mindfulness techniques has been linked to improved longevity and happiness. It's all about finding balance and learning to let go of things that don't serve us. So I encourage you to think about it. What's one thing you can let go of today? Maybe it's worrying about a project at work that isn't due for weeks or stressing over what others think about you. When you make the choice to release those unnecessary worries, you open up space for joy, peace, and better health. I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you're going to stop stressing about? Comment below and let's share how we can all live a little lighter and happier. 5. Financial wisdom. It's about stability, not luxury. As we get older, our financial priorities naturally begin to change. What used to seem important, like indulging in the latest gadgets or splurging on luxury vacations, starts to fade in comparison to the bigger picture, securing our financial future. The truth is, stability matters more than ever. It's not about chasing fleeting desires. It's about making thoughtful choices today to enjoy peace of mind tomorrow. Living within your means is a concept that becomes more critical as time goes on. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we need more things to feel fulfilled, but that often leads to stress, especially as retirement looms closer. Instead, focusing on saving and making wise financial decisions can make all the difference in how we enjoy our later years. One of the best ways to manage your finances responsibly is to start with a budget. It sounds simple, but having a clear understanding of where your money is going can be a game changer. By tracking your income and expenses, you can identify areas to cut back and put more towards savings. And when you save consistently, whether it's a little or a lot, it adds up over time. Planning for retirement is another key part of financial stability. If you haven't already, consider looking into retirement accounts like a 401k or an IRA. These tools are designed to help you grow your savings over time, providing you with a nest egg when you're ready to stop working. The earlier you start, the better off you'll be. The power of compound interest can turn small contributions into significant amounts down the road. Speaking of the impact of money on health, studies show that financial stress can have a real effect on our physical and emotional well-being. In fact, research has linked chronic financial strain to a higher risk of heart disease, anxiety, and depression, especially later in life. The constant worry about money can lead to sleepless nights and constant tension, which only adds to our stress. On the flip side, those who make stable financial choices and plan for the future tend to report better mental health and a greater sense of life satisfaction. To paint a clearer picture, let's compare two people. Person A decides early on to live within their means. They create a budget, contribute regularly to their 401k, and start putting away money for retirement. Over time, they feel secure knowing they're on track. They don't worry about unexpected expenses or the possibility of running out of money when they retire. On the other hand, person B spends freely, often on impulse purchases or unnecessary luxuries. They put off saving and rarely think about retirement. As they age, they find themselves scrambling to catch up, feeling stressed and anxious about their financial future. In the end, the difference in approach leads to a much calmer, more fulfilling retirement for person A, while person B faces uncertainty and financial strain. It's never too late to start making better choices. The key is to be proactive, focus on long-term stability, and remember that it's not about having everything today, it's about having peace of mind in the future. What's one financial goal you have set for yourself? Share it in the comments so we can cheer you on. 6. Gratitude and positive thinking. Gratitude. It's a simple word, but it can make a world of difference in how we experience life. As we get older, it can sometimes feel like the world is changing around us in ways we don't have control over. Health challenges, loss of loved ones, and even just the small inconveniences of daily life can weigh heavily on us. But one of the most powerful tools we have to cope with all of this is gratitude. Focusing on gratitude, especially in our later years, can help us shift our perspective. When we take a moment each day to reflect on what we're grateful for, it can make everything seem a little lighter. It's like putting on a new set of glasses that let us see life through a more positive lens. Instead of dwelling on what we've lost or what's going wrong, we start to notice what we still have and what's going well. You might be wondering, how do you even start practicing gratitude? It's easier than you think. One simple way is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down at least 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for a warm cup of tea, a kind neighbor, or even just a good night's sleep. The key is to make it a daily habit. Over time, you'll start to notice how many blessings surround you, no matter how small they might seem. Another way to practice gratitude is by taking a few moments during the day to reflect. Maybe when you wake up, you can think of something you are thankful for before you even get out of bed. Or perhaps, in the evening, you can take a minute to acknowledge the good things that happen throughout your day. This simple practice can bring a sense of peace and contentment, even on the toughest days. There's science behind this too. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude regularly can improve emotional health, reduce stress, and even increase overall happiness. In fact, people who practice gratitude report feeling less anxious and depressed, and they tend to have better relationships with others. Gratitude helps us focus on the positives in life, which can boost our mood and outlook. It's like giving our brains a mental workout, training us to look for the good rather than the bad. Let me give you an example. 2 people both facing difficult challenges in their lives. One person, let's call her Sarah, is dealing with health issues and struggles with feeling down. But she chooses to focus on gratitude. Every day she writes down things she's thankful for: her family, her morning walks, the warmth of the sun. She makes an effort to see the positive side of things, even on hard days. On the other hand, there's John. John is also facing challenges, but instead of focusing on the good, he often dwells on his complaints. He feels frustrated with his situation and constantly looks at the things he's lost or can't do anymore. Over time, Sarah, who maintains her gratitude practice, feels a sense of peace and even joy despite her struggles. John, however, feels more and more weighed down by negativity. The difference: a positive mindset rooted in gratitude. It doesn't mean ignoring challenges, but it does mean choosing to focus on what's still worth appreciating. And that shift can have a huge impact on how we feel and how we live. Let's spread some positivity today. Comment one thing you are grateful for. 7. Embrace change and stay open-minded. Life is always evolving, and so should we. When you think about it, change is something we experience every day. Sometimes it's small, like deciding to try a new recipe. Other times it's bigger, like moving to a new town or switching careers. But no matter what the change is, it's always an opportunity to grow. And the truth is, the more we embrace change, the more we open ourselves up to learning, adapting, and building resilience. Even in your 80s, it's not too late to embrace new experiences and ideas. I know from personal experience that staying open to change can truly transform your life. I've seen people grow stronger, more confident, and more fulfilled simply by staying curious and open-minded. Sure, it's easy to feel comfortable with the familiar, especially as we get older. But when we close ourselves off to change, We also close ourselves off to the possibility of new adventures, new relationships, and new opportunities that could bring joy and meaning into our lives. It's natural to feel a bit uncomfortable when faced with change. Change can challenge our routines and force us out of our comfort zones. But research shows that adapting to change is linked to better mental health and resilience. Studies suggest that when we embrace new experiences and learn to navigate life's changes, we actually strengthen our brain's ability to handle stress. This doesn't just apply to big life changes, but also to smaller ones like learning a new skill or even trying a different hobby. All these things contribute to a healthier, more flexible mindset. Let me tell you about two people I know, one who resisted change and one who embraced it. I know a man who, in his 50s, decided he was done trying new things. He stuck to his routine, his comfort zone, and resisted any changes that came his way. Over the years, he became more withdrawn and found himself feeling stuck. He often talked about how the world seemed to be passing him by, but he never wanted to make the leap into something new. On the other hand, I also know a woman who, in her 60s, decided to try something different. She'd always wanted to learn how to play the piano, but she'd been too busy with life. Finally, she took a leap of faith and signed up for lessons. It wasn't easy at first. She had to start from scratch, and there were plenty of moments when she wanted to give up. But as she stuck with it, she noticed something amazing. Not only was she learning to play the piano, but she also felt more energetic, more engaged, and more optimistic about life. That willingness to embrace change opened up a whole new chapter for her, one that brought joy and fulfillment in ways she hadn't expected. What's one change you've embraced recently? Whether it's trying something new, adopting a fresh perspective, or simply being open to different possibilities, I'd love to hear your story. Share it in the comments below. So to recap, take care of your health, keep learning, nurture your relationships, let go of stress, manage your finances wisely, focus on gratitude, and stay open to change. These are all powerful steps you can take to create a fulfilling and balanced life. It's not about being perfect, but about making consistent, small improvements every day. But remember, your well-being is in your hands, and it's never too late to make changes that benefit you. If you're in your 50s, know that you have a bright future ahead of you. You've already gained wisdom and experience, and now you have the power to shape your life in the next few decades. Don't let the years ahead feel overwhelming. Instead, see them as an opportunity to grow, learn, and enjoy new chapters of life. Start making small changes today, whether it's prioritizing your health, learning something new, or simply appreciating the little things. And those changes will add up over time, bringing long-term happiness and fulfillment. If you found these life lessons valuable, don't forget to like and share this video with someone you care about. Let's inspire others together. The more we share these positive lessons, the more we can create a ripple effect of encouragement and growth.